All right, Shalom. It's like, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, HaRakha, HaKodash, double honors to apostles and elders at Great Millstone, who taught us his truth. Shalom to you, all kingdom, push the word across the four corners of this globe without truth and sincerity. Bahasham, HaRakha, HaKodash. I just want to get a quick listen. You know how, you know what I'm saying, the Lord is really preparing our mindsets to put our whole fully trust upon, him, his spirit, upon his name. Because in the time that's coming very near in the future, that's what it's gonna take, all the way up until deliverance, man. See, and the world can't understand that because they don't have, first and foremost, the gift of faith was, wasn't given to the world, man. And we talking about the true gift. Those that believe upon the Lord in truth and in spirit, man. I did a lesson, talking about that. Those that believe upon the Lord in truth and in spirit. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and get it, because the Lord's looking for those that are worshiping in such spirit, in like spirit. I believe that's Hebrews. It's not there. Hebrews chapter 11. No, it's not there. This is John chapter 4, verse 24. I'll start at verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. The Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth, man. So the world thinks that see, when you think of God, they ain't considering, see, in their mindset, they think he's just some guy in the heavens, Edomite looking guy, in the heavens, just with a white beard and the clouds, and just looking down on people. No, man. That goofy image that Esau has brainwashed the people, of who the Most High is, who his son is. Completely whitewashed their mindsets and through Christianity and different ideologies and dogma, religions of how the world, even as well as how they view the Bible. It's not according, man. It's not correct. It's incorrect, man. The power of the Bible. He has a chosen people, and his chosen people, he expects his people to worship him accordingly, as such, as to what is written in the book, man. And his spirit is behind the book, man, because it is his words that ordained them. Through inspiration of his prophets to have them, be written down, to various timelines. This is Isaiah 34. Trying to get that real quick. Verse 16, seek ye out the book of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, in his spirit it hath gathered them. No one of these shall fail, meaning, not one word is going to fail. According to, this book also reveals the future prophecy. You know, the Lord has declared, civilizations to rise and fall, before they even took place. And, you know, in the world timeline, they came and went exactly as what was written. Because his spirit is ordaining these things, and because he spoke it, man. Right? Nothing, you know what I'm saying? None shall want her mate. Meaning you can't mix this with any other type of book, man. The Quran or the fucking Talmud or you know, any other book. You know what I'm saying? You can't mix this with any other ideology, man. The word stands alone. For my mouth hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. And he hath cast the lot for them, and his hand had divided it under them by lot. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I get that to prove that point. You know what I'm saying? Because the world don't understand the Lord, man. Really, because the Lord doesn't want them to. I'm saying the Lord only wants his election to understand. This is John 24. Chapter 4, verse 24. The Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth, man. And the only ones that's doing so is the election. The elect, the chosen, because they were given that faith to even acknowledge the truth. You know what I'm saying? The truth of his very son. Don't you know that the Most High has to choose you to even acknowledge who his son is, man? What is his name? What is his son's name? If thou canst tell, I'm if you're paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? Go read John chapter 17, man. You know what I'm saying? Them the ones whom the Most High has given unto Yahweh Shai. Keyword, given, man. The Most High chose individually who to even, follow after his son, man. You got Christianity, do you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord? First of all, you know what I'm saying, the Lord's not lost, man. And Jesus is not his fucking name. So that whole, ideology of you choosing the Lord, nah, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord chooses you, man. It's John chapter 15, verse 16. It's clear as day. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. Simple, man. I'm going back to John chapter 4. The Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So the Lord's looking for those that's going to worship him in spirit and in truth, man. Like it says in the 23rd verse, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. Now, the only ones that's doing those, that that'll be doing that, is the election, man. In these last days, it's gonna come to a time to where, the MOTB is gonna be made mandatory. It's you're gonna have to comply unless you want to keep making money for keep providing for your household, right? I'm saying you want to keep making money, you want to keep buying, keep spending, keep selling, You know, if you wanna keep driving your car, if you wanna, if you wanna keep paying, keep paying rent for your fucking apartment. If you wanna keep paying for your mortgage and shit. If you wanna keep your house, if you wanna keep, you know what I'm saying. But you understand, man. During that time, it's prophecy. It ain't like that we ain't been, highly anticipating it. Things are gonna go fast. You know what I'm saying, like the other apostles to be, be always saying, man. I'm saying the spirit's gonna move fast, man. Expect salvation, man. That's where our faith is gonna be on display, man. The world is gonna obviously comply because they don't have the faith, man. They don't understand what's happening. Why is this happening? Right? But this is our hour of temptation, man. It's gonna be a test. Fuck. This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. The hour of temptation which shall come upon all the world to what? To try them that dwell upon the earth, man. So the whole world don't even understand that, it's gonna be a major exam sent from the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, and he been warning you through the prophets for decades now, man. The highways and byways, the videos, internet, you know what I'm saying? You can't miss it, man. Been warning you, man. This grain of rice device can be made mandatory for you to take it under your skin. Everybody's a fucking conspiracy theorist. So, it's common news now. Right? It's no excuse now, man. We're getting ready to see it, man. I'm saying? The tensions, the world tensions are rising. Societies, the fucking tensions of societies are rising also. People are fed up. Collapse is getting ready to take place, man. And Esau gonna bring in the solution. Like you've been playing from the beginning, man. And this grain of rice device. The spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, the warning has been out, man. It's up to you, to get right with the Lord, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, you Native Americans, man. You Jakes, man. So this can come upon you to try you, man. And it's written 2/3 of you are going, those that's not found written, those whose names that's not found written in the book of life, you're gonna submit, man. You're gonna submit. You're going to submit, man. But the Lord gonna keep his, man. Through his grace and mercy, Yahweh Shemiah Shai is gonna preserve his chosen, man. And even up to the elect, man. So that we may brag and boast. But once again, always, it's gonna be through his grace and mercy, man. That, Lord willing, that we be of that number, that, we be delivered, man. The Lord gonna ordain his elect and keep them, man. He's gonna keep them. And go to the word keeping means shamar. The Lord gonna keep his election, man. Because why? Because their faith is gonna be well set upon them in them times. Zechariah 13. Verse 8, and it shall come to pass in all the land, said the Lord Yahweh Shem outside, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh Shem outside is my power. I'm saying? Their faith is going to be, well set upon them, man. They're going to be tried as gold is tried. And what they're going to do, they're going to call upon the name of the Lord Yahweh Shem outside. And the Lord's going to hear them, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Going back to John chapter 4, verse 24. The Lord is a spirit, man. The Most High is a spirit, man. He's a spirit, man. The spirit. He's gonna hear you, man. He's not a human being that you gotta, you try to call someone that you may need help with, like a family member, whatever, on the fucking phone. You gotta, I'm saying, you gotta, put their number in, and, the phone ringing. You gotta hope that they pick up the phone. You know what I'm saying? They may or may not pick up the phone. Shit go to voicemail. You're like, damn. Now you gotta figure out, how to do it on your own. Like, no, man. The Lord's gonna be there for his election right when they, call upon him, man. He's gonna hear them, man. And what's he gonna do? I would say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh Shem outside is my power, man. The Lord's gonna hear them and immediately pick up, man. He will say that these are my people, these elections are my people, and they gonna say that. I'm saying that's my power, man. His spirit is my power, man. Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh is my power, man. Through his son, I'm saying, Yahweh Shai, I'm saying, that's their power, man. Let me get this quick precept. This is Sirach chapter 35. This is verse 13. He will not accept any person. He will not accept any person against the poor man, but will hear the prayer of the oppressed. He will not despise the supplication of the fatherless, nor the widow when she poureth out her complaint. Do not the tears run down from the widow's cheeks, and is not her cry against him that causeth them to fall? Yeah, man, we cry day and night against our oppressors, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get every morning, slaving, for the fucking green piece of paper that's not even, fucking real money, man. Under the necks of our oppressors, man. I mean, it's like, the feet of our oppressors, man. Serving it, man. Crying to Yahweh Shema, Lord, when? How long? Verse 16. He that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach into the clouds. The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds, until they come nigh. He will not be comforted, and will not depart till the Most High shall behold the judge righteously, and execute judgment. For the Lord will not be slack, neither will the mighty be patient toward him, till he has smitten and sundered the loins of the unmerciful, and repaid vengeance to the heathen, till he have taken away the multitude of the proud, and broken the scepter of the unrighteous, man. Fucking Edomites unmerciful, man. And we're constantly crying against this nigga, man. Crying against, our oppressor, man, for the Lord to, to please deliver us from like people is trying to do. This man is trying to enslave you. Not only is he already a slave, he's trying to, but he's going to the will to enslave your mind, man. He wants your soul. He wants you on a digital, your soul on a digital grid. By you consenting and taking this, this device under your skin, you have accepted him as your God, man. And your soul is gonna be on his, his world of algorithm, whatever the fuck. That's what the Lord has to destroy you, man. The Lord has to put you to that fire, man, because you're no longer, his. This devil owns you, man. The Lord has given this devil the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spiritual demon Satan to figure it out on how to completely separate you. From him, man. And through that temptation is gonna reveal who, reveal who, is gonna separate the lambs for the goats, so to speak, man. Who is of the election and who's not, man. In these last days, I'm getting ready to see it, man. But the Lord is gonna hear the elect, man, because the elect are gonna cry to the Lord, man. They ain't gonna cry to Esau. Going on to the main topic at hand, Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh Bashai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. Who's smoting us, man? It's devil, man. We're gonna no more rely upon this nigga. Like right now we have to rely upon him to fucking, for paychecks, to provide for our family. We gotta work for him, right? We gotta go to him for the want of all things, as according to his prophesied, man. Because we're cursed. We gotta go into him for our food, for our clothes, we have to get fucking licensed from him for certain, opportunities, just to drive and shit from him, right? We gotta go to him again to purchase these same vehicles, right? Everything we do, we gotta go to him, man. If you wanna get a fucking house, you gotta go to him. You gotta go, you gotta go to, to his fucking banks and shit, right? It's bullshit, man. But time's gonna come, man. That the Lord understands, man. The Spirit is gonna protect us, man, and provide for us. Because why? Because we serve the Lord. We serve Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. We serve His Spirit. The Lord gonna hear us, man. The Lord not gonna hear the average nigga that don't. He not serving the Lord, man. He don't even know his name. He know the Spirit. He not worshiping in the spirit and truth. This nigga call upon Jesus. He go to church on Sunday, call upon, Christ and Jesus. That same morning, that nigga woke up and fucking had, fucking pork sausages, pork bacon, eggs and grits for breakfast and shit. Calling himself, getting ready to go to church in the morning. The night before he committed adultery. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just bullshit, man. It's, and much more, man. I'm saying, these same niggas coming against the prophets and the highways and byways, mocking the brothers. Ignorant to the truth of the Bible, man. You don't know the Bible, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord gonna hear his election, man. The remnant of Israel, man. Verse 21, the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, into the mighty power. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, you Jakes are innumerable upon the planet, man. But yet, the Lord's only deal with the remnant, man. The scriptures tell you it's going to be a drop of water compared to a wave of an ocean, man. You know what I'm saying? To the ratio of those which is going to be saved, man. And that's the election, man. That drop of water. You know, the 144,000 is alongside with the great multitude. You know, the millions of Jakes, Israelites, across the planet, families of the prophets, friends of the prophets, those that believe upon the name. It's gonna be seeing. It's gonna be a glorious thing, man. And they're gonna believe upon Yahweh Shem Yahushua, relying upon Him for salvation. And you'll see it, man. You see them get beamed up and transformed, in a moment, man. And be granted that new covenant. You know what I'm saying? Them new bodies. But yeah, come, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the main points that I want to bring out for this lesson. You know what I'm saying? I pray and hope that your brothers and sisters find sanctifying. You know what I'm saying? Because very soon, you know what I'm saying, what's it going to take is literally just faith upon the Lord, man. The Lord's prepping our mindsets now. Through everything that we go through now. The things we need now. To prep that mind, you know what I'm saying? Because in them times, that's what's all we gonna have to do. Ain't gonna be no more, TikTok or fucking electricity or calling people, calling family members or shit, or even calling brothers. You might not even have the scriptures at your disposal, man. Hey, what Lord willing you do, but it's gonna come down, to what you learn, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and just relying upon Him. And the Lord gonna take care of you, man. That's why we serve the Lord to the best of capability. You know what I'm saying? We build up our spiritual bank accounts before the Lord, man. So the Lord, He sees us and grants mercy, man. Keep that angel, guided over us, man. But calm, man. But I pray and hope that your brothers and sisters find satisfying. Until next time, I say shalom.